Warning, I swear a lot.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to BattleTech. So, this game has taken up a lot of my time over the past week. I've only had it for about a week, and I've been playing it religiously, as those of you on my Discord may have noticed. I wouldn't say that I have followed BattleTech, Mechwarrior, Heavy Metal, this whole franchise, this whole series, if you will. I have not exactly followed it from the beginning, and I haven't followed it religiously. There's a lot of legacy here, and I think it stems back to like the 80s or something with tabletop miniatures and stuff like that. To be fair, I haven't engaged with a lot of that. My earliest involvement with this series was Mechwarrior 2 on the PS1 of all things, which is strange because that game is apparently way better on PC, but I played it on PS2. And loved every PS1, sorry, loved every second of it. I actually did a video on Mechwarrior 2 on this channel for a retro gaming series that I was doing for a while, and I don't know, it might be in the end card or something, but type in Mechwarrior 2, you'll find it. Point is, BattleTech, Mechwarrior, Heavy Metal, all of it, it's this long-spanning series all about mechs. It is all about mechs, and in my opinion, which is entirely opinion-based, funnily enough, does the best mechs. These are my favorite mechs, more so than Gundam or any other mech franchise, Armored Core, Front Mission, what have you. It is absolutely my favorite series for mechs, and this video is entirely self-indulgent, so I do apologize in advance for those of you who may have been expecting, say, LobCorp or Terraria. I am going to continue Terraria because I actually had a great time with it, and apparently you guys did too, so we're absolutely going to continue with Terraria. But for now, I'm going to indulge myself a little bit in a different way, because Terraria is still self-indulgence, and kind of show you guys around BattleTech. I keep going to call it Mechwarrior. This is BattleTech. Mechwarrior, you actually control the mech, I believe, is kind of the distinction. Whereas BattleTech, this is a strategy management game about running a mercenary company of mech pilots and their mechs, obviously, because they can't do a lot without them. And I love it. I love it. I love it. This is my mercenary company. It's called Novodachi, which is a play on the Nodachi katana, because I wanted that kind of sci-fi vibe, but also, you know, unemployed famous mech pilots in this game are called Ronin, so I kind of wanted to play into that as well. I'm a weeb, I know, don't worry about it. But let me show you around my company. This is my ship. I mean, everyone gets this ship. It's the Argo. It's your base of operations. It's very cool. You upgrade this thing over time to gain more benefits, like, I mean, that's just structural reinforcement, but more tangible benefits like faster and cheaper repair times, faster healing for your pilots, because your pilots can get injured whilst piloting their mechs. Like if a shot happens to pierce the armor on the head, it goes straight into the cockpit, injures the pilot. It's bad news. So a lot of running your company involves actually upgrading the ship to increase, you know, amenities and stuff like that. I'm just showing you guys career mode, by the way. There is an actual story mode, campaign mode with a plot and all that, but I much prefer playing career mode. I haven't even touched campaign mode. I much prefer career mode because I like running my own company of mechs. Let me show you guys the real, you know, the cheese. Let me show you the cheese. The real special shit, which is the mechs. These mechs are rad as heck, and I love them because they are grungy, they are fairly slow, they are industrial, except for that thing. That thing is just strange. We'll get to that in a minute, but let me show you around. This one is the one my character is currently using, and this is the Firestarter, which is a light mech, which is kind of more suited towards close quarters combat. In fact, I can actually show you what this game thinks it's about. The Firestarter is a dangerous mech for its tonnage. Carefully timed attacks with its flamers can shut down any mech and leave it open to punishment from your other forces. The FS9H also makes a decent light mech hunter killer. So this thing is kind of built for, I'd say, two roles really. Using its flamers to disable enemy mechs, because if a mech overheats too much, it actually shuts down. It also takes structure damage as a result, which can be crippling. And I'd say probably mid-range combats with 4 medium lasers on here. I can actually pump out a lot of damage very quickly. But of course, energy weapons in this game produce heat, which means if you're firing on all cylinders too much, you will in fact shut down. Now, stuff like machine guns, autocannons, and stuff like that, missile launchers, don't generate much heat, but they require ammo. So if you've got laser weaponry, yeah, they generate more heat and you have to wait for that to cool down, but you will never run out of ammo in a mission. As long as that gun is still on your mech and you haven't overheated, you can still fire it. So there are tactical advantages to both. I like having some machine guns because they're really good at dealing with targets who have had their armor blown off. So I can kind of use my medium lasers to like chip away at their armor from a distance and then close in for the kill with melee, MGs, and a flamer to just kind of cripple them further. Melee is totally a thing. You can send your mechs in to punch each other. It's rad as hell. But that's the fire starter. Over here we have the Vindicator, and I always, not by choice, because I choose to have a random selection of mechs at the start of the game, I always start with this thing. Every career I've started, which is more than it probably should be given how little I've owned this game, I always start with a Vindicator, and this thing is great. It does everything. It's not amazing at everything, but it does everything, and as a result, it's just a very effective mech that can engage from any range, is reasonably durable, fights reasonably well in melee, it can fill any role. Its actual role is fire support and brawler. Vindicator R1s tend to deal their damage at range while moving in for closer attacks. Typically well armored, they're capable of some surprise attacks due to their jump capability and above average heat efficiency. So I've got this thing decked out. I mean, this is pretty similar to how this thing starts, actually. In fact, it might be identical, I can't remember. But it's decked out with a PPC, which is a particle projector cannon, which is the granddaddy of long-range energy weapons, but of course generates a lot of heat, but the damage is incredible. It also lowers enemies' accuracy when you shoot them with it, which is just great. LRMs, which are long-range missiles, so anything LRM or SRM, that means long-range or short-range missiles. It occurs to me there isn't mid-range missiles, or if there are, I haven't actually encountered them. But yeah, LRMs for more long-distance engagement, medium laser for mid-to-range, short laser, small laser for short-range combat. So the beauty of things like S-lasers, MGs, and flamers is that if you melee someone, you will also fire your short-range weaponry, which can be devastating. You can absolutely cripple an enemy mech in one melee strike if you've got like 5 close-range weapons firing on them at the same time. The downside being, of course, is that if you're only equipped with short-range weapons, well, you might get shot to shit before you even get close. These are all things to take into consideration. Heat sinks are always invaluable for heat efficiency. Heat efficiency is very important, but the Vindicator is a fantastic mech. I adore it. Next up, we have the Panther, and this one's nice because it's got its helmet, its headpiece is really nice. Look at that, it's like a panther, it's got teeth. A nice design, I like it. And look at that arm with those 2 guns on it. It looks incredible. That looks like it's packing some heavy firepower, and it kind of is. That's its right arm, which is packing, once again, a particle projector cannon and a medium laser. So he's got a lot of firepower on his right arm, which means if his right arm gets blown off, he's fucked. So that's something to take into consideration. Has Inferno's missiles mounted on the center torso. Now, Inferno's missiles don't do as much damage as regular missiles, but they apply a sort of napalm to the enemy mech, which builds heat over time, so it can be used to kind of cripple enemy mechs in that respect. Other than that, Panther, it's alright. Its movement isn't too high, but it's alright. It has some jump jets to help it get around, but it's a decent sniper, as the game tells us itself. Panther 9Rs are solid all-round mechs, if a bit on the slow side. They make up for it with jump jets, considerable armor, and a hefty punch from their trademark PPC. They've even been used in physical slugging matches to good effect, so Panthers are good all-rounders. Probably better off sniping people with the PPC, though. But good all-rounders for sure. Very cool mech. As you may have noticed, your mercenary company follows a uniform color scheme, which you absolutely set yourself. I, of course, based mine off of my symbol. And I remember getting a piece of clothing, a piece of armor or outfit in Ghost of Tsushima, which kind of had that 2 different shades of blue with white color scheme, and I really liked that, and that's why I kind of tried to apply it for this, you know, as a Band of Ronin. This is a Jenna. This is currently in the shop, so I can't really show you around, but I love Jennas, not because they're especially good mechs, although they are good mechs. They are actually very good mechs for what they are and what they cost, what they can do. They can be very effective. But I love the Jenna because I remember it from MechWarrior 2. I used to use the Jenna in MechWarrior 2 all the time. Now, I was shit at MechWarrior 2 as a kid, let me be clear. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing, but I always loved the Jenna. It's a classic. It's a legacy mech, and I love it for that reason alone, basically. But this thing is basically a skirmisher. It moves very fast. You can mount it with either a bunch of medium lasers or a bunch of missiles. One of my favorite things to do with the Jenna is to run behind an enemy mech and unload a salvo of like 20 missiles into its back, which is almost guaranteed to do some damage. And the Jenna moves so fast and moves so far that it's really hard to hit. We'll get into the combat bit in a minute, but basically, mechs in this game, the higher their movement, the further they move in a turn, the more evasion points they get because they've been moving and are harder to hit. So the Jenna, whilst not being especially heavily armored, can just run around the battlefield and will dodge most shots as a result. There are countermeasures to this, and of course, shooting at a mech, hit or miss, will remove an evasion point. So if they actually really focused on trying to take down my Jenna, they probably could. But if they're focusing on my Jenna, that means they're not focusing on my Panther, or my Vindicator, or my Firestarter, or these two, which we're about to get into. But the Jenna are very cool. I love the Jenna. Urban Mech. I love this thing because it's stupid. I actually love it because it's dumb. Look how dumb this mech is. It's a great mech, like it fights well enough. But it's a hilarious mech, but that's kind of why I like it. But the Irby, as it is otherwise called, is not something to underestimate. It's a heavy defender. Don't let the stubby Irby fool you. It may look like a walking trash can, but it can mount heavy armor and a grown-up sized autocannon. R60s aren't known for their speed, but they are very useful if you can draw the enemy into their firing range. This thing is an armored gun, and that's basically all it does. That AC-10 punches real hard. You can rip right through a medium mech with that thing. One good shot can tear right through their arm, or their either side of their torso, one of their legs. It can blow off a weapon. It's powerful. If you have a good gunner, if you have a skilled gunner pilot in an urban mech, you can actually get a lot done with it. And it's very heavily armored for a light mech, so you're not going to suffer too much if the enemy starts firing back. And once again, if they're focusing on your Irby, they're not focusing on the rest of your shit, which allows you to get some work done, do some damage. Finally, we have the Vulcan. Now, I'm not overly keen on the Vulcan's design. I think the shoulders, this kind of like hunched over look, is a bit iffy. The helmet's pretty cool. I go back and forth on the helmet, but overall I think the helmet's pretty cool. These jump jets on the back, may I direct you to, look fucking radical. They look sick. I love them. And I like this, just like, you know, it has the gun with a little shield over it, and like, it's a cool mech, but I'm not overly in love with its design. It is very effective, though. The 2T Vulcan is a curious mech that's designed primarily for support attacks, which close range support, but also mounts an AC-2, one of the longest range weapons available. Mechwarriors normally ditch it in favor of more armor or different weaponry that complements the Vulcan's close quarter strengths. So initially, I actually took the AC off this thing because I was like, yeah, obviously I want this to focus on close range combat. But I kind of figured out after a while that giving it a long range option was actually very helpful. So I've mounted it with an improved AC-2, which is the lightest autocannon you can get in the game, just so that even when it's at range, it's kind of difficult to ignore because it is pumping out some real damage. Other than that though, short range lasers, flamers, and this thing punches real good. It also has a CQC suite. This is a very important upgrade. This is all gibberish to a lot of you who don't know about these things, but I'm kind of trying to really take you guys through this as in-depth as possible so you can understand what's going on. But this thing provides a plus 90 meter range to support weapons, so short lasers, flamers and stuff, which basically doubles the range of these weapons, making them a lot more effective. It also provides 10 melee hit defense, so if you go in for a slugging match, this thing is actually able to hold its own. The only downside I'd say for this thing is that its armor isn't great. Not the most armor, you know, for a medium mech as well, it's not the most heavily armored mech in the game. But it moves real far, which means it gains a lot of evasion bonuses. It's very effective. It's a good mech. I can never sit here and say it's not a good mech, because it is. I'm just not overly in love with its design, but we've got potential more mechs along the way, because you see, in this game, if you want to get more mechs, and you always want to get more mechs because they're fucking radical, you have one of two choices. You can either go to the store, right? Yeah, you see, we go to the store. There isn't a black marketplace here, but at certain stores, you can actually buy mechs in full. Like straight up just buy a mech, which costs probably like over 2 mil. Most mechs in this game are horrifically expensive. Or you purchase partial mech salvage. We need 4 parts on this playthrough to get a full mech. This is one way you can do it. The other way is to fight battles and salvage your opponent's mechs after the battle, which is what I've been doing a lot. And if we go back to the bay, I promise this will actually get somewhat interesting in a minute. As you can see, I've nearly got a Kintaro, I've nearly got an Archer, Shadowhawk, working on Hunchbacks, a Phoenix Hawk, some of the very cool mechs here. I'd love to show you some of them, but I have no idea if I'll get these today. Locusts, I get a lot of Locusts, but Locusts are actually really good mechs. I'll go into those maybe another time, but yeah. And then you have your Mechwarriors, of course. The pilots themselves. There's me. I'm in here, it's me. And I've spec'd myself towards piloting, so I'm better at moving and fighting in melee and stuff, because I think that's cool. And tactics, so that if I'm not in melee, I can use sensor lock to remove an enemy's evasion points, which makes them easier to hit, so I can kind of provide a spotting support role. We got other people. We got Romeo. She's a very good melee pilot. Excellent melee pilot. Iron, who is a fantastic gunner and defender. And Cooler, who I've actually set up the exact same way. Kukri is currently out because she took some hits, but she's proving to be a pretty good all-rounder, to be honest. She's a tactician, so she's good at spotting. I might move her towards piloting, but I don't know. I won't make any decisions until I have to. So I need to show you guys what this game is all about. And this game is all about contracts and making money, because you need money to survive, because you are a mercenary company. And also, if your money ever gets to zero, it's instant game over. No, there's no grace period of like, okay, well, you've got another month to try and figure it out. Nah, it's game over. Fucking make sure you don't run out of money. We'll do a little contract here. We'll do a nice little contract. We'll do payroll seizure. I don't think I've ever actually done recovery before. We've located the secure facility where the Capellan Confederation stores its payroll before distributing it to local forces. We believe we could put that payroll to better use. We'd like to hire you to hit the facility and steal the payroll. It will be well defended, and there is a bonus if you eliminate all the defenders. Personally, I'm not above simple robbery to pay the bills, Commander. Me neither. And there is a bonus if you eliminate all the defenders, so let's try and get as much... Well, I guess... This is a thing, though, is that you actually negotiate how much money you get versus how much salvage you get, and you have to kind of assess the mission and kind of figure out which is more worthwhile. For instance, if I went all in on salvage, I'd make 15 grand off of this, which is pathetic, as I'm sure you can tell. But we would get to choose 3 pieces of salvage that we would definitely get, and then we'd get an additional 15 pieces of salvage on top of that. Whereas if I go here for 133 grand, which is a little more significant, but we'd only get to pick 1 piece of salvage, and we'd be automatically allocated another 6. So you have to take this into consideration. If they're going to pay us more to kill every single enemy, it might actually be worth going right down the middle, because then we can pick some salvage. If we get lucky and there are some mechs in here that we need salvage from, I'm all over the place. I'm really excited. This would be the best way to do it. So we'll go in like this, yes. I'm setting Kukli up to use the Jenna. That's what I want her to do. So I guess I should actually spec her into piloting when I get the chance, so she can make the most out of the Jenna's fast movement. Cooler's in the Panther, Iron is in the Vindicator, Romeo's in the Vulcan, and I'm in the Firestarter. Now, let's see what we can do. Let's display some mechs. I am the only one who will be interested in this, and I don't care. I'm very excited to just show you guys the game because I love it so much. But this is kind of one of the reasons why I love running this show so much. It's because I can do this. I can be like, it pops up a lot, especially with Total Warhammer 2, right? Where I get a game that I'm obsessed with and I want to play all the time. Now, I want to focus more on LobCorp for the show because everyone loves LobCorp. We all want to see it, right? And that makes sense. I enjoy playing LobCorp. I really do. I really do enjoy playing LobCorp. I have no qualms about having that be the main series, and, you know, Library of Ruina will come soon afterwards. But in situations like this, where it's like, I want to play BattleTech all the fucking time. I always want to play it. Whenever I'm not editing or working or whatever, when it's my free time, I'm usually playing BattleTech, maybe Total Warhammer 2. You know, I've revolved them back and forth. But the point is, if I get a game that I'm obsessed with and I want to play all the time, there is no reason to not at least do one video on it. Because then I can play it and also produce content. It's, you know, it's a win-win. Now, granted, I don't think people are going to be way into this, because it's a little dry, especially if you're not into mechs, if you prefer more fantasy stuff, perhaps. If you're not into sci-fi or in any way, shape, or form, this will do nothing for you at all. This will be completely... You'll look at this and go, nah, not remotely interested. But I just really like it, and I think, you know, just giving it a go is a good idea. I don't mind if people don't like it. That is completely fine. You guys are not... Oh, hello, I'm Mech. You guys are not under any pressure to enjoy everything I make. If you're here for LobCorp, then watch LobCorp, you know what I mean? Like, and feel no guilt in that. I'm not judging you. I don't resent you for it. There's no guilt in that at all. Enjoy what you want to enjoy. But understand at the same time that I am also going to be doing stuff that isn't LobCorp, because there are other games I enjoy. This is not a Project Moon channel. But we're in range of the enemy right now. They have a Striker, Narc, and our NARC, which are missiles that can apply tracking beacons to help the enemy shoot you better, which is not good. Also, they just fire a ton of missiles, and that's no good. And they also have a Locust, which is this thing. It is one of the lightest mechs in the game, also one of the fastest. But if you mount 3 machine guns on that thing, it will trash most mechs if it gets in close. Okay, but combat in this game works on a turn-based system. It's fairly similar to XCOM, to be honest. If you've played XCOM, you know how to do that, or at least the more modern XCOMs, let me say. You know how to do this. You can either move and shoot or perform actions, or you sprint and use up all your actions, but sprinting is actually very useful in this game because you gain even more evasion, so it can actually be very valuable. But for this, I moved. I didn't do any more moving than moving, and while I could try and make the Locust more vulnerable, I think taking out that Striker might actually be a good idea, so I'm going to give it a go with my M lasers. That was pretty fucking pathetic, me, I've got to be honest. You lead this mercenary company, you're very bad at it.
Waiting on you, Commander.
It's fine, it's fine. Hopefully Cooler can make up for your failure.
Commander, moving out.
Now, I can show you guys the PPC, which is one of the best weapons in the game. I fucking love it. Fucking love it. Take that fucker out, please. Don't make me look stupid.
Right, Commander.
Here it goes. Oh, beautiful. Didn't stand a chance.
I feel bad about shooting the little guys.
Don't. You're going to be doing a lot more of it before the day's over, trust me. So, Romeo, I want you to get... Oh, hang on, actually. Nah, fair enough. Yeah, Romeo, I want you to get over there. I wonder, actually. Can you get close enough to... Ah, you can get close enough to hit with short lasers. That would be a better idea, actually. Because that Locust, right now, has a ton of evasion points, which makes it incredibly hard to hit. As you may have noticed in the bottom right with our AC, even from back there or anywhere, we wouldn't be able to hit it for shit. But close range with short lasers actually has a decent chance. And even if these shots miss, we will lower its evasion by 1. It doesn't matter how many weapons you shoot them with, the evasion will only go down by 1 per attacking mech, as it were. So throwing on the flamer and AC doesn't really make any sense here, but the short lasers, yeah, fuck it, go for it. And because its armor is so thin, it's already suffered structure damage, which is quite serious, actually, if you're piloting a mech, right? Yeah, this is Foreman's top tips for mech piloting. You don't want to suffer structure damage, because it's bad. Yeah, the Vindicator just walked through the Panther, I don't give a fuck. Iron's about to light this guy up like a Christmas tree. Hopefully. Go for him. Go on, go on. Yes! He took out one of his legs. He's going down, boys. Ooh. Pilot injured. Not that that really comes into it much. When it comes to light mechs, pilot injuries don't tend to matter too much, because if the pilot's suffering injuries, that usually means the mech is taking serious damage. So the mech is more likely to blow up before the pilot dies, right? But if you're piloting a medium or heavy or assault mech, which are the 3 classes above light, in that order, medium, heavy, and then assault, yeah, those mechs last a long time, but the pilots might not. And that's how you can take down a heavy mech sometimes, is by killing the pilot, which also affords you a lot more salvage, which can be very valuable, especially on such big and powerful and expensive mechs. I'm gonna stamp on this motherfucker. Oh, I destroyed his right arm and right torso. He's not doing well. And now I'm gonna shoot him and set him on fire. I damaged his weapon. Very good.
Enemy mech. Critical damage detected.
Wait, that's the secure location? This looks pretty easy, to be honest. This is a 1 skull, so it's not exactly top tier danger, but I was expecting a bit more than this. We should be careful. I imagine they'll send enemies to attack us once we've secured it, probably. Of course, when enemies are laying down, they're easier to hit. Not only are they easier to hit, but you can also cool the shot and target specific locations. So let me run that back a little bit, just so I can explain to you guys what's going on. You take out a leg, it pretty much knocks their stability damage up to max and causes them to fall over. Hence why this Locust fell over, because we took out its leg. You take out an arm, any weapons mounted to it are now unavailable. Same with the right and left torsos. If you take out the head, the pilot dies, straight up, because that's where the pilot is. And if you take out the torso, the mech explodes. I'm gonna try and take out the torso.
Take this.
And it's destroyed. Because it's a Locust and can't take much.
And stay down.
You stay down, you fool. So now I guess we just... Yeah, it's gone back to non-combat because there are currently no enemy mechs around. I'll just go over here and secure the pay, I guess. Just take the money. I'll take the money. Move everyone up. I'm sure they'll send reinforcements. Hold this location until our people can grab the payroll crates. Okay. I'm noticing a distinct lack of...
We have the asset.
Really? Wow, that was easy. Wow, I've never get missions that easy before. It's a good thing I didn't lean in entirely on salvage, or that would have been really disappointing. Okay, cool, I got 100 grand for that. That was easy. That was the easiest payday I've ever had. Sweet, okay, neat, nice. We took no damage, no reason why we can't run off to another contract. Fantastic. So this is the salvage screen, and this ties into what I was saying before. We can choose to, we're basically going to get everything here, so it doesn't fucking matter, but you would select a certain amount of salvage that you will definitely get, and then the client would assign you a bunch of other potential salvage as a reward, which is chosen randomly. Like, here we're going to get all of it, because we didn't get enough salvage to even worry about such a thing, but we got another locust thing, which is good. We got some long-range missiles, we got some machine guns and some ammo. It's fine. All this stuff builds up and is helpful to have, and we got 100 grand for it, gained some reputation, mech pilots gained experience. It was an all-round beneficial thing to do, and doing a contract actually takes no time at all. I can go straight into another contract, no time has passed. See, Kukuri is still injured, for instance. It was at 1 day before the start of that mission, because no time passes when you do a contract. So if you're doing alright, and there are contracts to do, you can just burn through them like one after the other, just bam, 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 payday, 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 payday. It's great until you start taking damage and casualties, and then suddenly it takes like 20 days before you can do another contract. The game does balance itself out in this respect, where it's like, if you're doing well, you can do really well. If you're not, oh, you're gonna have a bad time. And indeed, I have many a time had a bad time. It would be helpful to get ace pilot. It would be helpful. I'll save up my experience.
Yes, Commander.
Romeo, Romeo, Romeo. What are we going to do with you? Called shot bonus or a better chance to... I'd say a better chance to hit for you.
Mechwarrior training
Ready for orders.
Iron, you absolute legend. You're doing great. Quite like to save up to get him... Yeah, breaching shot would be really helpful. And cooler. More gunnery for you.
Training complete.
So now, that contract was very easy, which was nice as a relief. I'm glad to see it. You're always glad to see it. This next one is going to be considerably more difficult. Believe it or not, that half skull up actually makes a massive difference in terms of difficulty. The difficulty of these missions shoots up significantly per, like, half skull. And to make it worse, this is an escort mission as well. So, I mean, if they kill our whatever we're escorting, we're just fucked. We're looking for a mercenary company with a reputation for discretion. A personal friend of our leadership here in Bonavista has requested protection for a convoy of his, but the planetary government can't commit our own forces to this task. While his convoy is armed and armored, he suspects that his enemies have hired mercenaries of their own to interdict this shipment. Commander, I suspect that our employer's reluctance to commit their own forces has less to do with any extreme danger of the task, but some distaste with their merchant friend. Doesn't matter, money's money. Free Worlds League. So every contract you take increases your reputation with whom you're doing the contract for, and lowers your reputation with the person you're acting against. Planetary governments don't even have a reputation because they are per planet and are completely inconsequential, whereas the Free Worlds League controls an entire section of the galaxy. I'll show you guys the star map in a minute and you'll see where I'm coming from. But you have to be careful about this sort of thing, because pissing people off is not good for business. However, you do need to do business, right? I often made the mistake of picking and choosing my contracts too much, and as a result, just not making money because I was too scared of upsetting people. You're a mercenary company. You gotta go in there and do your job. You gotta go fight people. Well, I'll just quickly have a look at the store, because if there's any mechs that we can get that would actually, you know, if we're nearly there. Javelins suck, don't even bother with javelins. They are good mechs, I'm sure, but I don't like them personally. Trebuchets are great. Irby. The Victor is an assault mech, which is insane. You get another Vulcan, but I don't want one. I guess, yeah, maybe some more I don't know. I think we should maybe focus a bit more on salvage for this one. Because if it's a 1.5 skull, they're probably going to send a decent force. And I'm doing alright for cash right now. 265 still ain't a bad payday. And I can sell stuff if money gets low, so it's not the end of the world. Yes, we're good to go. Yes, we are. We'll see how this goes. This should be significantly more dicey than the previous one. Probably. I don't know. We'll see. Doodly doo 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 doo. I bet this is going to go swimmingly.
Interface initiated.
We have friendly units under fire, so immediately it's going well. Move to their position and provide support. Get them to safety, keep them intact, and get out of there when it's done. I mean, I usually resolve contracts by murdering everyone involved, you know, all enemies. Secure the convoy rally point, okay. I usually just complete contracts by murdering all hostile forces, but it can be good sometimes to actually try and just get your job done and then leave, rather than try and fight everything. if you fight everything and kill everything, then you get the most potential salvage, which is always nice, and there's often financial bonuses to doing that, so it's not entirely discouraged, but the game does try and get you to be careful, which I frequently ignore, because it's me. You guys have watched me play Log Corp, you know how not careful I am. It's fine. I'm a good commander, he said, fooling no one. So we're at the convoy rally point. I presume someone who needs help is going to show up, and then I must escort them, or something. I don't know, we'll see. We've got some fast-moving mechs, so we'll be able to sort of keep up with the convoy. It's not as if they're going to get ahead of us. Enemy contact. I've heard from the local government convoy. Looks like you've secured the area, and they are making their way towards the extraction point now. Keep them alive. Keep in mind that the convoy will try to stay near you for protection. Continue advancing to get them to the extract point. Okay. And enemy forces are on their way in. Yep, there's one there. We need to go there. I'm going to assume, perhaps incorrectly, that they aren't coming from behind us, so... Actually, oh no, I won't be able to reach from there. That's unfortunate. Okay. I'll go here, yes. And just sort of start spotting ahead, clearing the way, get the convoy moving, because the best thing the convoy can do is, in fact, move. The sooner it gets to extraction, the sooner we don't have to worry. At least about them specifically. Oh boy, they're coming in. Hello. Alright, lads. Getting a little crowded around here.
I hear ya.
It's getting a little crowded.
On my way.
I'd love to try and get the first shot on them to try and divert their attention away from the convoy, but we can't actually see them yet, and that's kind of an issue. They've definitely got light mechs, we know that much for sure, but they may have some mediums chucked in there as well. That's a locust? That's a flea. That's a flea. Let me have a look at it. That's a flea. That is, I think, the smallest and lightest mech in the game. Other than maybe the spider. But much like the locust, these things have great potential to do a lot of damage if utilized correctly, and they're also incredibly hard to hit.
What's up, boss?
Standing by.
The fewer they go, might be worth to just try and kill them as they show up, or at least do damage. You know, one good shot on that flea is going to do serious problems to it. And that thing is capable of destroying vehicles as much as anything else, so, you know. I say, yeah, go all in, see what happens. 40% chances. We managed to get some hits, and lowered its evasion. And then maybe Romeo could land another shot. You know, maybe. The combat is joined. We've officially shot a shot, and now fighting has commenced. Fisticuffs have been thrown. You know, via bullets, not actual fisticuffs. Nope, that was a miss. But I might be able to do some damage to it at the start of next turn, or maybe the convoy can, because, to be fair, those vehicles do have guns. But I should probably move that way to try and keep them away. I want them shooting at me, not at that, you know? Go on, do a shot. Shoot! Shoot them! You have guns, I know you do. I know you do, you can't tell me you don't. Bastard. Go on, shoot them. Just one bullet. Defend yourselves, goddamn you. Oh god, this is gonna get painful. Good news is that area of effect damage isn't usually a thing. There are weapons in this game that do area of effect damage, but mostly there isn't, so they won't be able to nuke all four of them at the same time, probably. I don't know for sure. What are you, buddy? What are you? Ah, you didn't see fit to reveal yourself just yet. So if I go there, I'll be able to see both. However, I will be in the firing line of both, but maybe that's necessary right now. To at least keep their attention away from the convoy. The way the mechanics typically work in this game, in terms of protecting things, is that if you shoot an enemy mech, they will start shooting you back rather than shooting at the thing you're trying to protect. But that's not 100%, so, you know, we'll see what happens. I'm going to try and take this fucker out straight away.
Engaging target.
I actually did some damage. Good. All right. Well, that might keep him off the vehicles then. That flea might go for us instead. Probably gonna go for me. Let's be real. Oh, he set me on fire. I don't like that. No. This might give us an opportunity to do something else, however, that will promptly deal with that little shit. I don't know, we'll see. If you went there, it's obscured line of sight, but that's still a pretty good shot, so I'd say go for it. And then, oh, I've got an idea. Yeah, I got an idea. Time to make use of one of the perks of a gunner pilot, you see. Gunners can multi-target, which means, you know, we fire at this guy, he's target A, and then we fire at this guy, he's target B, and you go down here and you swap between the different targets. Now, the Flea is the only one that can get hit by the M laser and the Infernos missile, so this actually works out quite easily.
Right, Commander.
Go on, buddy, hit him. Oh, that's unfortunate, but it did lower his evasion, so it's fine. Managed to hit him with some missiles, so, you know, he doesn't have a lot of armor, so that'll actually probably help. Commando, are you coming for me, buddy? Is that what you're doing? Is that what you're doing? You probably moved quite far, didn't you? Yes, gained a lot of evasion. Shooting at me. I don't like that. Taking a lot of damage. Not actually that much damage, but it's still damage. I don't like it. So, yeah, Romeo could get right into range and unload on this fool. Sadly, she's not a gunner, so I couldn't have her use her AC to shoot that guy, and then, you know, shoot that guy like that. But it's okay, we'll figure it out. This alone, if enough of these shots hit, should actually put the fleet down straight away. So, you know, roll the dice, we'll see what happens. XCOM rules, you guys know how this is.
Locking on target.
One of those shots got through. Yep, took out its right arm. That's how fragile fleas are.
Waiting for orders.
Ah, he has a short range. You actually can't hit with your short range laser from there, are you sure? You can with that one. Alright, we can make this work. I can make this work.
Aye, aye.
So we'll kind of try and multi-shot this one as well. So the flea is A and you're B. We'll run it this way, because if we can get rid of the flea, that'd be ideal.
On it.
Oh my god, that thing is fucked, surely. Oh, it's not feeling good, Mr. Krabs. It's not feeling good. We managed to hit him with one missile, which is something. It's more than nothing. Oh god, you guys are going right into an ambush. I would appreciate it if you didn't do that. If you didn't go right into that. Oh, it's a panther. Cool. Cool. Oh my god, you actually shot at it. You tagged it. That's helpful. I wish you'd shot something else. That would have been helpful if you'd shot something else. Although if you kill it, that would save us. Having to, oh, I mean, you blew that thing's right arm off, so you know what? Doing a good job there, lads, actually. Kind of very impressed. What else you got? Come on, give us some good stuff. Give us some good stuff. Did you get him? No, you tag marked him, but he was already tark magged. So, nothing real happened. Get him. Oh, that was some good shots. He might die. Yep, there we go. Good, that saves us some trouble. Enemy turn, I don't like it. Oh, please don't actually hurt them. Oh god, no. Oh, please, no. Oh, that... Oh, it's not been destroyed, but it keeps happening. Oh. He doesn't have a lot of evasion, so I should be able to nail him with a good shot. I'm hoping. Oh yeah, I could do a lot to this guy, I think. And in fact, I should, to just keep him away from the convoy. Doesn't matter if I take some damage and have to, you know, undergo repairs. As long as we win, that's really what matters. As long as we get all of them out of here, plus we get a bonus if all the convoy units survive. So we really want to try and do that.
All weapons committed.
I unloaded everything I had on him, and it did some structure damage, not much. You know, because I'm a light mech. He shot at me. I wish he wouldn't. I think he missed, though, so that's actually okay. Now, cooler.
What can I do for you?
Push up, boy. I got a job for you. It's called trashing these motherfuckers. So we can multi-shot this, and that'd be nice. Yeah, you got a 70% chance to hit him with the PPC, and a much higher chance to hit him with basically everything. So I suggest you multi-target, do some B on him, because he'll get hit bad, and then he'll get hit bad, hopefully, and we'll see what happens.
Affirmative.
Damn, that was a good hit. Destroyed his heat sink. And you just hit him right in the back. Good, 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 good. Lads, lads, lads.
Good to go.
Oh, Romeo, you're in range. Good, good. Let's do some melee combat. Everyone loves melee combat.
Aye, aye.
Go on, Vulcan, get in there.
Putting my weight into it.
Oh my god, he kicked his right torso off. And now shooting him in the back. Yeah, he's dead. Yeah, the Vulcan's quite powerful, actually. It's quite strong. Now, granted, this was medium versus light, so a bit of a weight advantage, but still. Not to be underestimated. Iron, I actually think you can kill this guy. I think you can do it right now. I think you can. Use a precision strike, aim for his center torso, go for it.
Acknowledge.
Well, you didn't kill him, but you know what? The vehicles might actually kill him, to be honest. It's distinctly possible this is all they have, and if so, I'd be quite surprised, because this is a 1.5 skull mission, and they usually introduce, like, medium mechs during these missions. And, you know, in numbers as well. But missions can go in any, like, all kinds of ways. Like, sometimes reinforcements show up, sometimes a third faction shows up, sometimes anything can happen. It remains unpredictable. You guys aren't doing as much damage to that guy as I was hoping. Like, you're kind of piercing his armor, but not really doing anything. You know what I mean? You're not really doing anything. That was a good hit. He's been marked. Still nothing really happened, though. Which is interesting. What about you, little Sleipnir? Go on, get him. Go on, mess him up. Oh, you blew off his left torso. Amazing. That would have injured the pilot. That might have actually removed some of his weapons as well. I'm going to try a cool guy thing. That's probably not going to work, but I'll give it a go. What have I got to lose except my soul? I'm going to deck this motherfucker.
Engaging physical attack.
Oh, damn. I blew off his left leg by punching him in the shoulder. Yeah, that makes sense. And destroyed him.
Enemy mech destroyed.
Yeah, that's how we do it. That's how we do it. And they're just going to run off to the extraction point, I assume. Although I don't think they go much further than we are. We need to kind of escort them over there. You know, that's our job, and we kind of got to do it. So yeah, this will be a breeze from here on out. Just, like, literally the game's gone off of turn-based mode because there are no enemies left to fight. Just get them to the extraction, we win, tons of money. The salvage is going to be shit because their mechs were awful, but, you know, it's more equipment. I haven't gotten a flea before, so getting a flea mech would be pretty cool. And like I said, stuff can be sold if we can't necessarily use it. Use it. Unfortunately, they move agonizingly slowly. Ah, more contacts. Looks like they're sending in units to destroy the convoy. It's a bit late, lads.
Hold this position, Commander. The package will be on its way soon.
Okay, so we might actually have to defend them for a while. I see. Perhaps it's not as a foregone conclusion as I thought it was going to be. Oh no. Also, I don't know. Are they actually going to leave? Are they leaving now? I don't know. I'm a little confused, actually. Alright, all four of them have to be there for one round. I see. I wasn't sure if that meant armaments, but no. So let's see. They're over there. Unknown vehicle, unknown mech. We should see what they've got, because if they've got any good mechs, I could really do with the salvage. Let's see what they got. A locust. How fucking quaint. Not necessarily to be underestimated, but quaint, it must be said.
I hear ya.
The angles here are awkward though, and we might actually struggle to hit them in most cases.
Time to fly.
But just putting ourselves in the way of the vehicles should ensure that they don't actually damage them. I bet that's a light mech as well. It's going on initiative 4, it probably is.
What's up, boss?
That's potentially a good shot.
Moving out.
The AC-2 may be the weakest autocannon, but it'll still do a lot of damage to a locust. Do a precision strike, give it a go. AC-2, right through the chest.
Firing on target.
Oh yeah, blew off its right arm.
That hit
So when you call
something good.
shots and you target specific points of the body, it's actually a percentage chance that they'll hit that part of the body, not certain. But the overall percentage chance of the shot means they will hit the target, just maybe not necessarily where you told them to do it, but it's just an increased chance to hit a specific body part, really. That's why I don't tend to aim for the head, because you have like a 2% chance to make that shot happen. It's very unlikely. I think with increased tactics you gain bonuses to called shots, like especially on target locations, but I haven't really gotten that, so Those are some good hits.
The objective
They're
is
out.
secured, Commander.
We succeeded at the mission. Now we may as well destroy what they've got, because it doesn't seem like they have much. We exited and re-entered combat for some reason. There's a vehicle, it's a galleon tag. Which I believe is a tank. Hey buddy, you're not doing well. Oh, he's coming right in, hello. Do you mind? I could melee that guy into fucking oblivion. And I think I will, actually. I'm going to go punch him. I'm going to go punch his shit in. Check it out.
Engaging physical
Oh, I
attack.
kicked his shit in, beg your pardon. And then shoot the fuck out of him as well. And he's dead. Locusts, very fragile. Keep them out of melee unless you know you're going to do some serious damage. Another locust, speaking of which. Our evac zone is actually quite far away, but that's okay. If we destroy all these, we automatically win. Don't have to get to evac or nothing. Do you mind? First of all, rude. Second of all, what the fuck? We'll probably get another locust out of this, actually.
Armor low.
I think I had a locust, but it was
What can I do for you?
destroyed, if I remember correctly. Yeah, when mechs are destroyed in battle. I mean, I've selected the difficulty option in career mode to make this happen. When they're destroyed, they're gone. You lose that mech entirely, which is a huge downer. Don't know if you've noticed. That vehicle's destroyed, they don't have much. This isn't an even fight. The real threat here was the possibility of them
Bye-bye.
destroying the convoy, but even with these numbers, these mechs themselves and vehicles and stuff, I don't think would have done a very good job of destroying the convoy. I just don't think they could have really done it. I don't know. Nice. Oh, and then this as well. I forgot about the aftershot, which destroyed it in one and done. That mech is gone.
Target
The
neutralized.
Vulcan is very good.
Good to go.
Good, you got a direct. Oh my god, you might actually. You're probably just gonna annihilate him in one. This is gonna be a joke. Both these missions have been really easy. I'm quite surprised. The game can be quite vicious most of the time. But these have been easy. It's good. The game wanted me to not look dumb on the internet. It wanted me to look cool instead.
Boarding vehicle.
Yeah, that was easy. I got paid for doing fuck all, basically. We gained a 30% bonus for performing so well. Everything went great. Everyone gained experience. It was just a good time. Yeah, so we can get a locust. Work towards getting a fleet because we haven't gotten one of those before, and we are low on heat sinks all the time, so heat sinks are great things to have. Lovely. Lovely jubbly, yeah, that's some good stuff. The Locust's 1M model is interesting in that it can churn out a decent volley of LRMs for such a small mech. It's a great harasser, especially if you can use its speed to lob missiles into the weak rear armor of targets, but it normally has almost no armor itself. So I like Locusts, they're actually quite good mechs, genuinely. But I'm gonna put this one, I'm gonna put it in storage for now. If I want to use it in my own time, I'll decide on that myself. But, ladies and gentlemen, that was BattleTech. Thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna keep this one short and sweet. I don't want it to outstay its welcome, because I know this isn't gonna be for everyone, but it was kind of a passion thing that I wanted to do, because I love this game to pieces. Before we go, let me show you the star map, so you understand what scale we're working with here in terms of where you can go. So obviously every one of these dots is somewhere you can go, and there's quite a few, and a lot of different territories, you know, with differing levels of difficulty in terms of the contracts provided, going all the way up to 5, obviously. And then you have flashpoints, which are jobs that involve consecutive deployment, so it's mission after mission after mission after mission without getting to rest, but you get very good rewards for doing so. Usually, as far as I can tell, a rare mech, which really sounds like something I'd want. I might even go do prototype, because it's 1.5 star, and you saw how we just cleaned out that one with, like, no problems. But I don't know, there's one over here, which is 2.5, which would be significantly more dangerous. 3, which would be even more dangerous. There's always something to do, there's always more to do. Of unknown origin, 2, that's kind of doable, I don't know. I'd probably go for, like, that one or something. Yeah, 1.5 star prototype. Yeah, there's a lot to do in this game. I really enjoy it. I've been playing it a lot, and thank you so much for listening to me gush about it. If you want to see more of this, I can't imagine you would, but if you do, I'd be happy to do more. Just let me know. But otherwise, this was very much done for my own sake. Thank you once again for watching. Special thanks to Dreamer Ghost, Leper Lullaby, K-Bub, Magical, Peyton Barrett Hill, The Frostbite, Quantum Pizza, Monsoon, Sir World, Jumping with Joy, Warmaster Oku, SCP-106A, Namad, and Kenny T800 for supporting me on Patreon. Thank you guys so much for supporting me. I greatly appreciate it. It allowed me to get this game, which I've been very happy with. And thank you for indulging me for watching this video. Where happens next time, and it might be this, depending on if you guys want it, but chances are it will be Lobcorp, Terraria, maybe some erratas thrown in there. And me and James are planning on continuing to do Total Warhammer, so that will be coming too. But whatever happens next time, hope I see you there. Doodles, goodbye.